First, allow me to preface this review by stating that I have no belief in the supernatural and did not think much of the first Paranormal Activity. However, I do enjoy the horror genre, particularly around this time of year. Paranormal Activity 2 runs parallel with its prequel. We are introduced to a new family of 4 who have a connection with the couple from the first film, namely the 2 female leads as sisters. Paranormal Activity 2 begins with what is presumed to be a break-in. Fearing for their future safety, the family decide to install big brother-esq cameras all over the house, which ultimately end up capturing all the strange goings-on film. This must be an absolute dream come true for the daughter of the household, as she also carries a handheld camera with her, documenting every last boring detail of the family's life. And believe me, they are boring details. Strangely, even in cases of extreme trauma, every character is perfectly framed during the handheld shots, leading me to believe that at least one family member has a budding career as a documentary filmmaker. In addition to this, we are led to believe that the presence of the camera is to document the upbringing of baby Hunter. So why anyone thought conversations about the spooky occurrences would be appropriate is beyond me. In a world where everything is broadcast on Facebook or YouTube, surely it is still possible to converse in private. Following the discovery of the break-in, we are treated to a 25-minute fly-on-the-wall look into the family's life, which involves swimming, making cups of tea and sitting in silence. Oh, do they sit in silence? If anyone thought Buried had its slow bits, steer well clear of Paranormal Activity 2. Imagine you have a friend that's just had a baby and they feel the need to show you hours and hours of footage of their pride and joy doing absolutely nothing. That's what the first half of this film is. A documentary about the most boring, underdeveloped characters ever committed to film. At the half-an-hour mark, something actually happens. Something that will shock you to your very core. A door moves ever so slightly. That's it. So slightly, in fact, that Christy, the sister of Katie from the first film, doesn't even notice it. Paranormal Activity 2 continues in this way for a while longer before introducing loud noises and a kitchen explosion. The fact that I mention the kitchen exploding may feel like a spoiler, but I guarantee that if you know it's going to happen, you'll be more tense than just sitting in silence waiting. You can thank me later. As you can probably tell, I thought this film was not only dull but not in the least scary. I got one big jump out of it and 2 big laughs. Other than that, Paranormal Activity 2 fails to evoke any real emotion at all. As for being scary, there is a major difference between a scary film and one that makes you jump. The supposed scares in this production come from turning all of the sound levels right down for a good minute to a minute and a half. Then producing a loud bang. There's no talent or creativity in that. I could walk up to someone in the street and produce the same effects. Between pots falling down and a pool cleaner possessed by the ghost of R2-D2, Paranormal Activity 2 is definitely one to miss. Sure, it will make you jump at the time, but how will you sleep later that night? Soundly. There are no real psychological repercussions, and the characters are so underdeveloped that you don't really care for them in the first place. It is worth noting that the filming of Paranormal Activity 2 was announced the same week that the first film came out. The whole film feels like an attempt to recreate the box office numbers of its predecessor, and it's tipped to do just that. It is also worth remembering that there was no press screening for this film prior to general release. There is a very good reason for that.